This is your Hdsr Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events. Matt Kelly pitches Oak Hills past Victor Valley in CIF second round action. The Bulldogs beating the Jackrabbits 3-1 on the Victor Valley High School campus. Matt Kelly strikes out 8 in firing the complete game win, overcoming a very tight strike zone in the early going.
Matt, how tough was it at the outset with that strike zone being the incredible shrinking strike zone?
That strike zone was small to start off, but when you got more into the end of the game, you start getting wider and wider. But at the beginning of the game, it was tough. I had to get the ball more over the plate and make them hit into outs.
Julian Macias drives in Jonathan Trujillo with what proves to be the game-winning run. It comes with 2 outs in the second and puts the Bulldogs ahead 2-1.
Yeah, I just knew I needed to just drive the ball, honestly, sit back, get ahead of it. It was a pretty good pitch. He threw hard, but I just got in front of it, drove it. It was exciting. It's cool.
Jonathan Trujillo gives the Bulldogs an insurance run in the fourth, driving Jacob Rangel across with the 1-out single. Jackrabbits' 5-game winner Eric Olivares works himself out of a jam in the first. Joe Delatorre's base hit through the left side sends Julian Macias to second. Julian Macias had walked to lead off the game. Joe Delatorre, the leading Oak Hills hitter, the senior third baseman, hitting .424. Eric Olivares gets Brandon Bullock on the fly ball to right fielder Tommy Murrieta for the second out of the inning. The Bulldogs load the bases. Julian Macias advancing to third on a walk to .347 hitting cleanup hitter Zach Becker. The bases full threat brings the pitching coach to the mound for a conference to plot the strategy against Adrian Villarreal, one of 2 Bulldogs with home runs this season. Eric Olivares extinguishes the Oak Hills threat with the inning-ending strikeout. First of 4 this day for the 5'11", 220-pound senior workhorse. That count will bring to 59 strikeouts in his team-high 52-plus innings pitched. Victor Valley scores their run in the first, capitalizing on Matt Kelly bases on balls to the first 2 Jackrabbits batters. Then the wild pitch enabling the Rabbits' leadoff hitter to reach third with 1 out. Mikey Prieto breaks for the plate on contact. The Bulldogs concede the run to get the out. Eric Olivares, the RBI on the ground out to shortstop Julian Macias. Jackrabbits lead 1-0. End of 1. Steve Rubio gets the Bulldogs rally started in the second. A 1-out single over the infield. Jackrabbits right fielder Tommy Murrieta getting it back in. Steve Rubio, Bulldogs Jr., who enters the game hitting an even .300. Steve Rubio advances to second on the pitch to the backstop. Another pitch in the dirt, and Steve Rubio is on third. Jonathan Trujillo walks, putting Bulldogs on the corners with 2 outs. Jonathan Trujillo steals second. Catcher Michael Carroll's throw, nobody covering the bag. Steve Rubio trots across the plate, and the score is tied at 1. Julian Macias follows with his clutch base hit, the sharp single to left. Jonathan Trujillo scoring Bulldogs run number 2. 10th RBI on the year for the Oak Hills Jr. shortstop. How does Eric Olivares respond? As you would expect from a team captain, co-captain in this case, a shutdown inning, ringing up the Bulldogs' number 3 hitter on the called third strike, then fanning the Oak Hills cleanup hitter. Victor Valley's leading hitter on the year is Mikey Prieto. He is hitting .395 coming in. Last season's DSL Player of the Year singles with 1 out in the Jackrabbits' half of the fourth. This base hit in his final game of Jackrabbit, raising his batting average to an even 400. Michael Carroll drives the first pitch he sees in this at-bat to left. Two of Victor Valley's total of 4 hits on the day off Matt Kelly, coming on back-to-back pitches in the fourth. Matt Kelly gets the Jackrabbits 3-hitter and RBI leader on the hard slider for the second out in the inning, then gets out of the inning when Victor Valley's cleanup hitter lines sharply to shortstop Julian Macias. Yet another home team insurrection comes up empty, but we have not seen the last of the Jackrabbits mounting a threat and placing runners in scoring position. End of 4, still 2-1 Bulldogs. Oak Hills does cash in on their rally effort for a run in the 5th. Jacob Rangel is advanced to third on the sacrifice bunt. Jacob Rangel's 2 hits raising his batting average to .319. The Mojave River League co-champions hitting .326 as a team. Jackrabbits first baseman Gabriel Munoz makes a diving, run-saving catch of the line drive for the second out of the inning. Gabriel Munoz, a Victor Valley freshman. One sidebar to the drama riding this very windy playoff atmosphere, the questioning of close calls on the base paths as well as the strike zone. The Bulldogs runner just does get back. Here, a call challenged by Jackrabbits coach Juan Mejias. A challenge in amateur baseball does not involve reviewing video, but rather requesting a discussion between the umpires to see if another saw the play differently. When the call stands, it fuels mounting discontent by home team players who will be warned about the nature of their chatter. John Nathan Trujillo makes the call on the close play at third significant when he singles up the middle, driving in Jacob Rangel with Bulldogs run number 3. The Jackrabbits receive warning number 1. Now fortified with a 2-run lead, Matt Kelly ramps up his strikeout machine, swinging strike 3 on the slider away. Called strike 3 on the next Jackrabbits batter. We go to the 6th, 3-1 Bulldogs. The drama and intensity reach greater heights when Victor Valley returns a base runner to the base paths in the 6th. Umpire-in-chief Chris Moyer halts play, calling timeout and summoning Victor Valley's coach with another warning for the unsportsmanlike chatter coming from the dugout. If a third warning is issued, the coach will be ejected and have to leave the playing field. This will happen shortly. Victor Valley survives a base-running blunder when the Bulldogs misplay an opportunity to pick the runner off first. Matt Kelly's stamina and endurance coming into play. He is coming off a shoulder injury in his last start.
Did you feel stronger as you went?
I did, especially after coming off a shoulder injury last game. Felt stronger this game.
Lady Luck appears to be turning the cards in favor of the Rabbits when Brett Bauer's line drive is misplayed. Had it been fielded on one hop, it would have been an easy throw to second to nail the lead runner. Instead, the Rabbits bring the potential go-ahead run to the plate. Nobody out. The batter, Victor Valley's cleanup hitter. Matt Kelly induces the pop-up for the first out. Still runners at second and first. The runner on first, the potential tying run. The fly ball is deep enough for Michael Carroll to tag up and get to third. 2 outs. And then it will be Matt Kelly punctuating the high drama of the situation himself. But Matt Kelly will kill the rally by picking off the Rabbits base runner on first to end the threat and end the inning.
How big was the pickoff?
Oh, that pickoff was huge for us. I wasn't really trying to pick him off, but it happened.
It just so happens the Bulldogs' defense keeps giving the Jackrabbits new life in the 7th to keep 11th hour rally efforts very much alive. The swinging bunt is allowed to roll, and it does not roll foul. This brings the potential tying run to the plate. New life is given this batter when the pop-up is caught by the 25 miles per hour wind gusts and not by Bulldogs defenders. The second out of the inning comes when freshman Tommy Marietta whacks the line drive to right fielder Steve Rubio. The Jackrabbits are down to their last out, still down 2. With leadoff hitter and leading hitter Mikey Prieto on deck, the Rabbits' last batter goes after the 2-0 pitch and grounds it back to Matt Kelly. Oak Hills wins the round 2 matchup between DSL and MRL co-champions with a final score 3-1 and advance to their quarterfinals home game against Torrance.
It's exciting knowing we're one of the best in the high desert, and we just got to keep going. This isn't the last game.
Congratulations today. Keep it going. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Video Sports Action Highlights brought to you by Hdsr Sports Training, where athletes of all ages improve speed, quickness, endurance, and strength on state-of-the-art equipment. Hdsr Sports Training is offering a speed and agility training special directed at baseball and softball teams now that seasons end. From June 1st through August 1st, 9 sessions for up to 12 athletes, $1,000. This is the biggest price break Hdsr Sports Training has ever offered. The off-season is your prime time for improving speed, quickness, endurance, and strength. $1,000 for 9 sessions is a $400 price break. Must pay up front to qualify. Hdsr Sports Training, 2 indoor batting cages, 2 baseball and softball pitching machines, enclosed Major League Distance bullpens. Call 760-948-3333 to register or for further details. Hdsr Sports Training, 17485 Catalpa Avenue, Suite B9, Hesperia. Your Hdsr Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. Bid fast and last, world-class auctioneers, family-owned and operated liquidation experts. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. Valu Quality Truck Body, family-owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Desert High Transportation, reliable and dependable non-emergency transportation for ambulatory and wheelchair passengers. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting high desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. These 3 Apple Valley Unified School District bus drivers are on the road to the Rodeo State Finals.
I am Teresa Ruiz, and I am a school bus driver here in Apple Valley.
Yes, my name's Angel Ruiz, and I'm involved with the bus rodeos here at Apple Valley.
My name is Kevin Thomas. I've been driving school bus for Apple Valley Unified School District for 4 years now.
And what's coming up? What is this rodeo?
It's a bus driving competition, a safety rodeo. Helps to build the skills and knowledge of the drivers.
The rodeo is 7 different skills events for the drivers to sharpen their skills, keep them safe on the road. It gives them more confidence in maneuvering a large vehicle. They have a right-hand turn, a left-hand turn, a backing event, actually 2 backing events, and parallel parking. Right, yeah. I can't hardly parallel park my car, but I can parallel park a bus.
There's an obstacle course with 8 obstacles and a written test, and the goal is to not hit anything. Get as close as you can without going over limit lines and stuff like that. Some of it's pretty difficult, but we usually practice quite a bit before we do the competitions. This year it was kind of like a last second thing that we all decided to compete this year because it's our boss's last year here. She's going to retire, so it was more just, let's go do it for her. And then amazingly we all placed. So
I've been driving the bus since 2012.
What part of the competition do you enjoy most?
What I enjoy most about the competition is anything that has to do with backing up the bus. As far as the parallel parking, backup stall, back crossover. I just enjoy watching those back wheels just cross over those lines. I really enjoy that.
For a lot of drivers, is that one of the toughest things?
The parallel park is kind of difficult, but yes, yeah, it is something else.
The hardest part of the competition is some of the driving events. Like you have to parallel park a 40-foot bus in a 46-foot space and not hit a curb or anything.
Kevin, his dedication from the beginning. He's the one that was out there setting up our obstacle courses, measuring, getting everything painted, and he enjoyed. Both of them, I've noticed they enjoy doing this. You have to love doing this, or else, it wouldn't be no fun.
Kevin's Kevin. He is good at the tests, the written test. He's a good driver also. I think it's like you have to have a combination of all the aspects. You can't just win the competition being best at one particular thing. You have to pretty much nail all of them.
You know what? She's probably we've been doing this longer than her, and I would want to say that she's probably, between me and Kevin, I would say she was probably the best driver from all of us.
Teresa's strong point is driving. She's also very knowledgeable. She's better than she thinks she is.
She just has a knack for it. So I've seen her practice and her scores and stuff, and I would say she's a better driver than us. Yeah.
What are you best at?
It's all just technical stuff. And when you're out on the road driving every day, it's things that you teach yourself out there on the road. I test myself all the time out in regular traffic with kids on board, and I watch my mirrors to make sure I didn't cross any lines or do any of that stuff. So when we get on the course, it's a lot more tight than it is out on the road. But I think driving every day makes the technical stuff a little bit easier. Not the rodeo's easy. It's not. It's fun. But I wouldn't say I have any one strong point. It's fun. It's fun to compete.
It's very exciting, especially for the reasons that I found out as they were getting their awards why they did it. Being my last year, getting ready to retire, they did it for me because rodeo is so close to my heart. We've had a couple other drivers in previous years that have made it to state championships and competed throughout the whole season and then made it to state championship. And these ones here didn't do any local competitions, didn't do hardly any practicing. In fact, I wasn't even here the day they enrolled or registered for rodeo, and found out after the fact and was just kind of shocked. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I was just excited to have Apple Valley represented at the Southern Sectional Rodeo. So
What's your best? What are you best at?
Apparently parallel park. Yes. I enjoy the driving aspect of it.
What's the most challenging part of your job on a daily basis, aside from the competition?
Aside with the competition, just being on the road, just having to just the people, just the way they drive out there. It's kind of difficult. People cutting you off, running your red lights, and then having to watch all the kids behind you at the same time. It could be kind of tasking. Yeah.
Is it tougher being a bus driver today than in years past?
Oh, absolutely. Back in the 80s when I started driving, there was still traffic to be concerned about and the 60, 70, 80 kids behind you. But now our traffic, we're a city now. We're not a small little town like we used to be. And there is a lot more traffic. So they have a lot more to worry about when they're out there driving. So this keeps their defensive driving skills sharpened, and their senses are more aware of what's going on.
What are some of the amusing situations that you encountered as a bus driver?
It's hard to pick just one. Most of them, I enjoy the middle school kids because they have more of a personality and you can joke with them and build more of a rapport. I talk to a lot of my middle school kids a lot, and my high school. High school is the easiest.
I would have to say the kids, the children. Just you can be having the worst day, and then them coming up to you and a big smile on their face, and they're just happy. They're genuine, right? They're just happy to see you. They'll give you a hug, and I think that's probably the best part of the job there.
The hardest part is when something happens at home, you don't get the rest you want, and the kids, they're loud and they're rambunctious, and just having to maintain the bus and them, it gets a little challenging at times.
What are some of the most amusing things or enjoyable things that you have looking back?
The little kids, they're so cute and so loud. But they say some of the cutest things, and they do some of I had a kid bring on a box of ladybugs one day. But there had to have been 100 ladybugs in this little box, and I said, "What do you have in the box there?" And he opened it up, and I was like, "Oh, no. Those have to stay here." They were his friends. Just things like that. It's never a dull moment on a school bus, you know.
You are to be congratulated for your regional performance. Good luck at state. Thank you for these comments.
No problem. Thank you.
Bid fast and last, world-class auctioneers are sold on presenting achievements of Apple Valley Unified School District personnel and students, bidding a successful rodeo trip to these school bus drivers in state rodeo finals.
Ready to kick tires, start fires, kick ass, take names, and rock and roll.
Serious legal problems? Don't go it alone. The other guys have attorneys just waiting to blow you away. Contact Iwanzak. Accidental death? Injured on the job? Contact Iwanzak. Business litigation? Vehicle accident? Unlawful detainer? Criminal litigation? Get the proper defense by going on the attack. Iwanzak Law Firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems.
This is the top school bus mechanic in the state of California. His name is Michael Schreiner, Jr. He works for the Apple Valley Unified School District. Michael was named California's best mechanic at the California Association of School Transportation Officials competition held at Lake Tahoe. Michael Schreiner's first such competition.
Were you surprised at your success first time out of the block, or did you feel pretty well prepared going in?
I felt prepared. Still, there's an element of not knowing how the competition's going to go. Getting through it, though, I was really confident, but I didn't want to set myself up for failure and think I'd won it. So I kind of mentally was preparing myself for a second or third place finish and was ecstatic when I was announced the winner.
What exactly does the competition involve?
It's a competition where they inspect the buses, they do the undercarriage, the interior, the exterior. There's a technician part of it where they're identifying or problem solving subjects that have come up or issues that have come up.
The written test was an ASC formatted test, meaning that a lot of the questions ask you technician A says this, technician B says this, and you need to answer which technician is correct, or if either or both are correct. There's an interior inspection, which is 15 minutes. You have an exterior and engine compartment section, which is 15 minutes. And then you have undercarriage, tire, and wheel, which is 15 minutes. And in the 15 minutes, you go through with the judge and find as many defects as possible. You know, all three of them were equally challenging because of the time factor. These were older buses that have been in service, so there were several defects. And one of the sections is used as a tiebreaker if you were to tie on points with another competitor. And the way that works is the faster you get done, it goes for your score. So on the one section I knew was going to be the tiebreaker, I tried to rush through, and I kind of probably found a few more things, but I wanted to save some time in the bank.
In November, we're going to be attending the NAPT, which is National Association of Pupil Transportation. They're doing the international competition for Mechanics Best. It's the international best competition.
On this level, most of the competitors are state inspectors from across the country where they get paid to do it for a living. So it's definitely a little intimidating, but we're studying and I think we're going to be well prepared.
And Mike will be competing against competitors from all over the United States and as far away as Canada.
Okay. So do you have homework to do before?
Tons.
Oh, really?
Tons. You know, this competition I was a little more prepared for because being in California, the laws were going to be specific to California school buses. Now, on the federal level, California incorporates a lot of laws that don't apply federally, or they go above and beyond. So now I'm going through the federal handbook and studying this up so I can be on an even board with everybody else across the country.
Mike, how long have you been a mechanic with the Apple Valley Unified School District?
I've been with the district for about 8 months now, I believe, maybe a little bit longer.
But Michael Schreiner, I always associate that with a person who's been here a long time.
My father's been here 20 some odd years as a diesel mechanic also.
When did you know or think that, you know what, I might kind of like to get into that line of work?
You know what, in high school, from being a little boy though, you know, I was always rooming with my dad. And in high school, it was really settling in. I took auto shop and excelled in it in high school. And it started kind of dawning on me that this is something I might want to do for a living. So fresh out of the gate at 18, I went into the industry.
What are the day in and day out routines? I mean, I obviously check the oil and tire pressure, this type of thing. But what all does your work entail? What does it involve?
Here's very specific, because I've been in almost every facet of the diesel industry. But here, school buses are just held to an extremely higher standard. You know, every 3,000 miles or 45 days, every one of our buses has to be inspected. And an inspection on a school bus is extremely detailed, bumper to bumper, top to bottom. You know, everything has to have eyes and hands on it. So there was definitely a learning curve getting into here. I had a lot of experience coming in, but the mechanics here, Tom, Tim, and my dad, Mike, have showed me a great amount on buses specifically, you know, what to look for and what are common things. And then of course there's heavier line work, you know, actual repairs when something breaks down and has internal failure. And that's as it happens, of course, but there's preventative maintenance is always an issue.
We have 67 school buses in our yellow fleet, and between the school buses and the white fleet, it's between 200 and 300 vehicles that they maintain.
Mike, I know with any job that safety first comes first. Are there some aspects of it that can become a little more hazardous or dangerous than others?
I would say there's an element of danger anytime you work on any type of engine. You know, we take precautions to make sure everything is locked out, tagged out, inoperable of starting if we're going to be anywhere near where you could get harmed. But there's obviously a risk involved with dropping heavy components or hands in tight, you know, places, confined space.
Are you like a doctor that is on call? I mean, do you have to go out sometimes if a bus breaks down?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a handful of service calls weekly. You know, there's always something going on.
Yeah, and even just that alone, working roadside, I mean, with oncoming traffic is something I would think you would have to be.
Absolutely, yeah, you've got to be very cautious, you know. We always try to get, most of our drivers are very well trained to get the bus into a safe area before they, shut down. But there's times we have to, have the bus move to a safer location. It's just not worth the risk, you know.
Is there any time of the year that is hardest on the vehicles, or that work is hardest for you? As it gets cold, or is it when it's hot, or is it the same year?
The summer months, the heat is definitely an added element that causes some failure, you know. But for the most part, I would say across the board, there's always work to be done. There's always something wearing out on one spot or another on a bus, you know.
Well, congratulations on your success. First time out of the gate in the state finals, and best of luck to you as you head on into Kansas City.
Thank you.
Coming up in November.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Have you had a contestant, someone from the Apple Valley School District compete in this for as long as you've been here?
No, I've been here since 1988, and this Mike is our first time attendee.
Oh, first time's a charm.
Yeah.
Send him to Las Vegas, huh?
Right.
Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers, family-owned and operated liquidation experts. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. Valu Quality Truck Body, family owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Desert High Transportation, reliable and dependable non-emergency transportation for ambulatory and wheelchair passengers. High Desert Sports Training, providing proven training concepts. Call to schedule a free evaluation. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. and by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting High Desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events.